Good morning and welcome to the Small Business Cheerleader podcast. I'm Nicola from NW Marketing, the Small Business Cheerleader. I'm joined today by Alex from Shine Bright Alex. She's a local personal stylist. And we're here today to talk about elevating your personal brand through clothes. So how are you, Alex? And introduce yourself and let people know how you got into the world of styling.
Hi, I just want to say thank you. It's really honored to be here and just chat to amazing small other businesses about all this sort of same things what we have just in a different industry. So this is always amazing just to connect it. And what I feel the most powerful is, in my personal opinion, I have the biggest tool because I connect people through the clothes. So this is my biggest power as being a personal stylist. So as you mentioned, I'm Alex. My full name is Alexandra. You can probably hear my accent, so everyone is wondering where I'm coming from. So just in a beginning, I was born in Russia, so this is my Alexandra is like, you can't get probably more Russian name than that one. But when I was 13, my parents moved to the Czech Republic, so I grew up there and lived there. I'm a very big passionate of traveling, and style is one of my biggest passion after traveling, and I understood that after COVID when we were not able to travel. So I was sitting back in Australia. Just if you want to know my story a bit more, I'm not gonna dive here. You can go always into my Instagram and just go through my story because it's a long long one. And just to make it short, I'm here in Australia, I'm in Perth, and personal stylist I became during the COVID time when I just moved to Australia. The COVID hit and I had no rights to work in Australia. So I was basically just sitting on the couch and I didn't know what to do. But I always knew that fashion is something what I have been very close to all my life. And since then, I just started to take a lot of courses. I actually certificated myself through the different worldwide courses as a personal and fashion stylist. So that's...
It's amazing because people pivoted so hard during COVID. And I think that it just let people explore sides of themselves that they never had thought of previously or had always wanted to try. And I think that the small business world, good and bad through COVID, it enabled us to find other parts of ourselves that we didn't know. I mean, I pivoted into small business coaching because I'd worked obviously with shopping center retailers and small businesses, but hadn't really explored it too much. So COVID, when my shopping center clients went away, I had to pivot and do a similar thing of finding, where do I want to go? What do I want to train in? What do I want to explore next? So I just think it's an amazing story that small businesses have and is very unique to us in how to, pivot through that period. So what we want to talk about today is how they can use styling to find that personal brand for themselves through the use of a stylist. So what is a personal brand? So we know sometimes in graphic design and social media what a personal brand is, but how does it translate to clothes and style, and how does that really affect a personal brand?
Well, it's not such a big difference, to be honest, from the product base, because as a person, you are actually your own product. And this is what I say. So people recognize you from the personal brand as you show. So even as a person, as an individual, you always have some parts on you which are special, and everyone is unique. So it's just about you. If you want to show it as your very strong and powerful tool, or people just don't think about it like that. So that's why I feel like, because I built my own personal brand on clothes, that people actually recognize me through the clothes. And so I just want to make sure that people understand what a personal brand is. And I did Google it just to give you like a Wikipedia that there is a particular like a real word for the personal branding. So it's the process of defining and promoting what you stand for as an individual. Your personal brand is as a culmination of experience, skills, and values that makes you different from others. So, and this is exactly how people should take it. And as I said, we are all so unique and individual that we just need to find it in our clothes, how we want to show, how we want to be seen by others.
Yeah, that's 100%. Because I know when I go to networking events, and I know I saw you at a social club event, and obviously your clothes stuck with me. And then when I saw you online, I was like, oh, I had seen you. So see, that recognition was instant, because I knew your style and where I see you show up online. And that happens with quite a few personal brand businesses / people I know in the networking field. Lala for Business is another one. Lala has a very distinct style, and you know exactly when you see her that's Lala. And I think it's not about going over the top, because no one is. It's about just having that look where people recognize who you are and what you sort of stand for from your clothes. And that alone takes skill, because sometimes we just don't know ourselves what that looks like or what we feel comfortable in. And I think people get a little bit, everyone's going to look at me, what am I doing? And a bit confused, don't they, about what that is. So what's important, and why do people need that personal brand? How can they start the process of what that looks like?
Well, at first I probably should say that personal brand doesn't mean that you need to, to look like the most colorful person, or just someone who is wearing wig or hats or something. There is non-specific message. It basically can be, just the small earrings, which you always wear, but people can connect it with you. And this is how I feel like this is important. As you said, you saw me on the networking event and you remember me. And that happens to me all the time. People actually, then they talk to me and they're, oh yeah, I remember you. And then they said, you know what, the interesting thing is, like, I don't remember anyone else. And this is exactly how I know how I will make this important impression on the first side to the people, and they remember me. I don't do anything special. Like, I'm not coming there on the horse or something, it's just.
Although, that might be something for later.
That might be your personal brand. I mean, there are no rules unless you feel the most comfortable and it's possible. But
it's about being comfortable. And I think that's the thing. Like for me, a lot of people, and create little avatars, on Instagram and things like that. And you can pick what things stand out. Like for me, a lot of my things are my glasses, and I used to have a shade of lipstick that I'd wear. And that ended up becoming something that people sort of recognized in me. And that became my brand colors in the end, because that was something where people would recognize. And sometimes people utilize their brand colors, or they just have a certain style that is them. And I think it's about finding whatever that is for you, and not trying to be someone else, isn't it? It's really finding your personal style.
It's about finding what you feel comfortable and the most authentic is in terms of clothes. As I said, it shouldn't be too bright. It could be just jeans, pants, shoes, lipstick, as you said. No matter what, it just needs to be you.
And it's how you show up. I mean, like Jessie from Pink Tank is always, you know, beautiful with her pink and her look, and that's very on brand for her. And other people that I know in networking circles, I can, you know, automatically pick their vibe, can't you? Their vibe, what they're about. Are they fun and out there? Are they more reserved, but, you know, really witty and funny? Or are they really left of center? And are they really, you know, cool and, you know, so that all comes from your hair, from your clothes, and then you back it up with your messaging and your branding. And it's the whole lot, I think, goes together, especially if you want to stand out online. It doesn't have to be bright and stand out. It just has to have a very easy to recognize.
This is exactly right, because as you mentioned, Jessie, she has such a strong personal brand, as everybody knows that pink is something what goes with her. And basically, if someone is talking about photographers, she always would come up as a first, because I remember her, and this is how exactly the personal brand works, because people associating you no matter what people are talking about, but they could connect even one industry with one particular individual who is so, who can show and who can basically goes to the people's mind about their personal brand. And this is how important it is to have it, that people connect you in a different topics in their life, what they're talking with the different people, but no matter what they say, photographer and everybody straight. Like for me, it's just because for me, she has this like huge brand. But I'm not saying that no, like, don't get me wrong, that someone else is.
Yeah, but it's also finding your people, isn't it? Like, you know, some people might be attracted to a different type of vibe. Whereas I was attracted to Jessie. She's done all my branding shoots for the last couple of years because of that fun thing. I needed that vibe. And then another thing we look at, I mean, she loves the Crocs now.
Yes.
So she's created a sort of a community based around something now. So that can be another way, isn't it? If it's part of your look or your brand, if you're really owning it and you become part of the person that they know that for, you find people who love the similar things to you, and you create, you know, your vibe attracts your tribe, that sort of thing.
And this is correct, because personal brand gives us straight like this vibe that people can resonate with your style straight away. They know exactly on the first second they see you, they're like, oh yes, that's my vibe, or that's completely something wrong. Yes, this is how. So before probably building your personal brand, you should really think about how you want to position yourself, how people are seeing you, and how they're gonna recognize themselves in your personal style as well. So
yeah, that's 100%. That's it, because you will attract people who want to be either within your energy, if you're that type of person, or they recognize themselves there. And that's you knowing your ideal client as well. If you've done the work in knowing, you know, why you do what you do and how you want to show up, which is what I do with my clients in the marketing, like foundations, you know, why do you do what you do? What are you passionate about? How are you going to show up? And then looking for those people, your ideal client, and how you can help them. So, you know, what that all comes down to what you're about. And the more specific you are as to, you know, why you do what you do, that comes out more in how you show up. And I think people who just want to be everything to everyone, they dilute that, don't they? Their personal style, their messaging, their branding is diluted because they're trying to be everything to everyone. But if you can niche into your ideal client and them and what they want, you're much more likely to stand out.
This is exactly correct, because I think someone.
Yeah. No, that's right, because it's the fact that we forget, don't we, that sometimes people like to see a mirror, that, oh, she gets me. Oh, she's like that. She's fun. She's whatever. Oh, no, she's more, you know, an introvert. She's more, so I tend to gravitate that way or that way. And so you own it. If you're an introvert, own it. And that's what Taryn does at the Social Bolts. You know, you think she's all into, you know, the wizards and Harry Potter and being an introvert and owning it. So she found her tribe. And I think that, again, is a personal brand because she showed up every day as herself. And I mean, why would you not? If you're clear on it, it does help you.
It does help you 100%. But what I mean in the mind, for example, for personal stylists, it could be a little bit tricky because, as I said, for example, from my personal experience, this is where people associate me with bold, colorful, shiny. For someone, it might be too much. But what they should understand is not that me as a personal stylist, I will try to make my own copy of them. Yeah. But I think it's important to have a personal stylist who can prove that he found his personal stylist or his personal style or her personal style, no matter what, because this is the provement that this person could help you. And it doesn't mean that you need to wear sparkling dresses every day. No.
Yeah, that's right. So that's that thing. If you're, wow, she's really owning who she is. I'd love to work with someone who can help me find mine. You're right. It's not like you're saying, be like me. You're saying, I understand and can see your brand and how I can help you find that in clothes and how you show up.
Yes.
And to have that support is amazing. Because, I mean, who has those skills in their back pocket? Not many people, because it is a skill and that you've learned, as you said, over COVID, you went and did all this work. So you know even more so what's behind it.
It's another, like it's in the industry like everything else. You have to go there. Even in styling, there are particular rules which you have to follow.
Yeah.
I agree they are easier to break because for those reasons which people are trying to find their personal style, and it could be rules are for rules are made for breaking them. So, and in style, and this is the most funniest part of the styling, and this is why I love it so much, even though it's the industry where yes, we have to go with the particular rules because as a personal stylist, I help you to find the best rights, like the best fit clothes because you have a particular body shape. So, and I should know this because not many people do understand it, and many people doing so many basic mistakes.
Yeah.
So for those reasons, like personal stylist is someone who is helping you to elevate you as a personality, how you can look better, feel comfortable, and just to show your authenticity every single day, just being you.
Yeah, that's right. And so I think that's one of the main reasons people should consider working with a stylist is you go out and do the shopping with them, don't you, as well? And or you can direct them in a way to know what to look for if they're doing it themselves, or you can say if they're going for jobs or if they're, you know, doing speaking, you know, gigs, stuff like that. It's like you can help them try and navigate some of those things that, like you said, we forget that this shouldn't go with this, or this goes for this body shape better than this. And it just allows them for whatever they're doing to show up more confidently.
Yes, exactly. And so I can go shopping with person. However, I always recommend to start working with a personal stylist from the basis, where personal stylist comes to your wardrobe and you actually find out where the main problems, why you are struggling and what, because I guess this is the most important part, being a stylist, where I come to the wardrobe, I see where the problem you might have. And just after this, we can go shopping together, or you can go shopping yourself with a list of items. What we will find out what I'm missing, and this is why your wardrobe doesn't work on you every single day. So there are lots of things what people just ignore, but what are the main things, because they think, oh, she will go shopping with me. I can, but I'm not gonna date because I can't build on your information what you gave me if it's correct information or not, because you might not actually see the main problem, which
that's it. And also if you've got stuff in there that should go together and you don't know how to do it, then your own wardrobe's a perfect place to start. I know I have a wardrobe full of stuff that I sit there and I just grab the same thing every day because I know that I should put the other stuff together in some sort of ensemble, but I really don't have the confidence on the fly to do it. So it tends to be the same outfit that just keeps coming out that I know I can put together. So it's stuff like that. I think that you're right. It's starting with the basics, making sure you've got someone who knows how to put these things together, can do it with you, and you probably end up with a whole bunch of looks that you didn't even know you had, instead of like me going out and buying more stuff and then realizing you don't wear any of it anyway because you still can't put it together.
Exactly, because what we as you said, I can go shopping with you, but we will be shopping based on your how to put it correct, old style thinking. Because we will still go on something what you will go and shopping normally, which working with the stylist who comes to your wardrobe, see the actual problem, and then we go shopping and we will start putting pieces together that it works like, it's like a Lego constructor, honestly. Like, this is how the wardrobe basically works. And that's why I encourage people to get the full package, because if we go shopping after together, there is no, or for sure there is not something that we will buy what we've just thrown away, because I can tell you in 100% what happens. I come, I clean the wardrobe, my clients go shopping next day without me. They just replace the same things just with the new labels because they still don't have this understanding, and it's completely normal. I understand it, because as I said, I've come for a long journey to understand how all these processes works. But this is the very common problem. People are like, oh my God, it's still not working. And I'm like, okay, but what did you buy? Like, they show me the same blouse, I'm like, okay, we've just thrown this away because this is not something that is not working.
It's that thing of that habit, isn't it, that safety. Oh, well, I know I've worn that before, so I'll buy 5 of those, or I know I've done that before, so I'll just keep buying that same thing, and not realizing that, like, say for me, I've never tucked anything in my life. And I've known other women that the same as me that have tucked everything in. They look amazing. It's just sometimes that mindset of what you think that you like. So, it's I think sometimes changing that up a bit is sometimes a mindset thing, as you've said before, trying to get yourself through these things that we might have learned or associated as we grew up. For whatever reason. So, there's little things, and wearing, either people don't want to wear short stuff or really long stuff or stuff tucked in, or just weird little things like that have been ingrained into us as we grew up.
You would be so surprised how many actually psychology problems we find going through the wardrobe, because people, as you said, they might even have those little small childhood traumas that they never wear, for example, short skirt, just because someone told them when they were 9 that they don't look good. And this is how we look at the things, and we are not allowed and asked to wear the skirts because someone ages ago told us something. And this is, yeah, it's incredible. I am also a volunteer for Dress for Success, where I work with many women who are coming from the very difficult positions in their lives. It's like going through the domestic violence, they're ending up in shelters, they are coming out from the prisons, and there are so many incredible stories. But when I talk with them and we try to figure out like what might be the problems, and basically people don't wear clothes based on someone's opinions. This is very, very common. And I'm always almost paralyzed, like how people can affect our own life, even in something what is clothes. I'm not even going deeper into.
No, you can only imagine. I remember I think I was in year 8, we did some personal grooming course they made you do. They taught you how to do your nails and all this sort of stuff. And I think we did something, and some teacher or lady or something said, oh, and you've got quite a big nose. And I'd never thought about it ever until year 8. And then, what am I now, 49 this year? Never will do a side photo ever. Even on my branding shoots, Jessie did something. No, don't want him, don't want to see him. So also remember what we say to people. Try and be kind, because, these things stay with you. So with clothes, it can be something as similar as shoes. I remember years when I was in primary school, I had shoes with my toes out once, and someone said, oh, your toes are out. And I was like, oh, what's wrong with toes out? And that took me years to get over wearing stuff with toes. So this, when you're formative up to age, say 15, this is when people need to realize, if you've got daughters or cousins or nieces, look at what you're saying and how you're building them up, because this stuff comes back and you need a stylist to unpick it to bring it all back to normal again.
Maybe first you need psychologists.
Yeah. Oh no, but stylist is always the same. It's like my PT Rachel is like my therapist. So sometimes you need a person that can help you with one thing that you can vent to about another, but yes, if you need proper help, please go and get it. But if you need just someone to slap you on the bum and say, come on, let's really look at this wardrobe. What can we do? How can we make you show up and feel a bit more confident about who you are? Then you're the person for them to talk to about that, because you've got the skills, you're used to dealing with people that are having these issues. So you've seen it time and time again, and you can tell them it's not just them.
The first I always ask my client is how they want to position themselves.
Yeah.
And this is where we begin our work, because I know exactly how people, or how my clients wants to be seen when people see her, him, them, no matter what, how they want to show up to this world.
Yeah.
Sometimes happens, people don't know, or they pretend they want to be something else what they are not. This is very interesting process as well, where like during the process we're actually finding out that something what my client had as a vision of themselves is not really what they want. But it's a deep work, so that's why I come and I talk about with my clients in not just about clothes, but the whole process is taking a while, because we talk about exactly those important things in which we are building all those bases. And I had a client, she's like, oh, I wanna find love, I wanna find partner, but I'm strong, independent, and I wanna have this guy who will be even stronger than me. And then during the process, we started to realize that actually her old clothes is positioning herself just as a princess, that she wants to show up as a princess into this world, that she wants to wear this flourish, pinkish blouses, because this is how she actually feels inside.
Yeah.
But her positioning is completely different. And
Yeah.
then when it's funny to see how like people are actually open their own eyes and they're like, oh my God, I've never thought, but this is what I'm saying. That's why it's so important to me to come to your wardrobe and see what is actually there, because based on couple pieces, I can make my own picture. And when we talk to my clients, I can clearly show them that it's not coming from my head, but this is a proof. This is a proof of myself.
It's right in front of you, literally. I'm holding it up. So if that isn't a mirror being held up to you, I don't know what is. Literally, that's like, see this? You wanted this? It's completely different. Now that leads us to, how can people work with you? Where can they find you? And how can well, we've explained how you work with people, but how can they find you online and get more info? And your stories are great. You have lots of great info and tips on your stories as well. So yeah, where can they find you?
Thank you so much. So my main platform is Instagram. This is where I am every day, almost every day. I do sometimes take breaks because, but yes, I'm trying to do on my Instagram lots of fashion tips and tricks, that it's useful information, that you find me as an expert there. So it's like an expertise Instagram, a bit of mix with my personal life as well. But this is where I am the most. And so to find me, you just go to my DMs, you just send me the message. You can also find the link in my bio on to my website, where you will find all the information you need about packages and prices. And yeah, I always answering people. I love chatting with people through the messages. So it's not particularly, if you want to just ask me something, you're more than welcome just to send me the message.
Now that Instagram is Shine Bright Alex, so shine_bright_Alex.
Correct.
Yeah, I want to find you there, and I'll put the links in the show notes as well. And you also have a free guide, a download for listeners, that they can get their 5 summer essentials for the wardrobe. So that's a download, which I've got the link to. So I'll pop that in the show notes as well, so people can grab that. So thank you very much for giving that to the listeners, because I think if we need it, we think we all need it, to give us some tips on how to get this stuff going. Well, it's been awesome to chat, and I think that there's some takeaways from people there in able to, you don't have to be, you know, full of color and bright to stand out as a personal brand. Just needs to be more so you, and showing up consistently as that. And it's not about getting new clothes. It's about understanding the clothes you have and making sure that you can look at how they all go together as an ensemble, and then knowing what essential pieces you can add to it, and make sure that you're using everything you've got as well, because we don't want to have to get a new wardrobe if we don't need it. We just want to make sure we've got the right pieces together, and that's where an expert like you comes in. Come into your wardrobe, open it up and sort you out, and I think that that's an amazing skill to have, and a lot of people know they need it, they just don't know where to go. So go see Alex, guys, because she's got you back, and she'll be in your wardrobe in no time. And I think that people, well, you don't have to clean it out. You're okay going into a wardrobe as a wardrobe, aren't you? They don't need to like make it look like an IKEA wardrobe.
No, because many people just start clean and throw everything from their wardrobe. Don't do it, because this is my job where I come, and this is where we actually find the problem based on what you have in your wardrobe. And I don't want people to think that I come and I will throw everything away. No, that's not my goal. My goal is actually to save you the most of your clothes, what you've already spent money on. So there is no need to be freaking out about that. I am a kind person. I will never do anything with my clients.
There's no judge. There's a no judgment zone. That's what we like. No judgment zone. You just walk in and give as much advice as you possibly can. I love that. Well, it's been awesome to chat, Alex, and still find you online, because that's where all the tips are, and you're always in your stories providing lots of info, and you're always open on the DMs, so that's amazing as well. It's been awesome. Hit up that free download in the show notes, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Thank you.